So what's up, plus ones? We are getting ready to make my delicious peach cobbler. So stay tuned. So hope you're ready to make your pie or cobbler, whatever you want to call it. The only difference in the cobbler or the pie is the way you place your pie crust, or if you put some at the bottom or don't put some at the bottom. You know, it's all the same thing for me though. Now here's all of your ingredients. Gather all this up now. Okay, you're going to need a medium to large pot, and I am just showing you the pie crust that I use, and it has 2 in there, and this Marie calendars have 2 pie crusts in it also. So you may need them, you may not, but depending on what you're doing. Get you a strainer, and you're gonna strain one of these cans of peaches, and you're gonna leave the juice in one. Okay, so once you have your peaches in the pot, you're going to start pouring your ingredients in the pot. Just dump everything in. This is a quick and easy recipe, so don't make it too hard. You have your cinnamon, your nutmeg, you have your lemon juice, lemon abstract, your vanilla abstract, and your sugar, plus the butter. So you just put everything in a pot, because then we're going to take it over to the stove and let that cook down for 6 to 8 minutes. You don't want your peaches to overcook. You don't want them to be mushy, and you don't want them falling apart. So 6 to 8 minutes on medium heat is a good place to be on your stove. Okay, I finally got the butter out of the pack, and now that is my mixture of flour and water that we will be using to thicken our pie filling. The object of this whisking is to get this nice and smooth. You don't want any chunks. Okay, so let's head on over to the stove. Okay, so now you want to just mix in all of those ingredients. Okay, let's let that cook down. We're going to go ahead on and multitask. We're going to prepare our dough. So you're going to take one of these sheets of crust out, and then you're going to just use this parchment paper to lay it out on. If you do not have parchment paper, that's okay. You could just use flour. Clean your counter off really good, and then you're going to like sprinkle some flour down on your countertop so that your dough will not stick while you're trying to flatten it out. Okay, so this recipe makes 2 pies, and if you are making 2 pies, you have everything you need if you got what I put on the list. It's much easier to work with this pie dough if it's a little chilled still. Don't let it get all the way room temperature, or it's going to be very, very soft. So I couldn't find my pizza cutter, so I just used a pizza knife to make this cut right in the center of this dough. Kind of like a star, but not with the points on it. Just a straight cut. And the reason I do this is to give the filling a little escape route, and not one that it's going to make of its own. All for the aesthetics. Come on, people, for the aesthetics. If you happen to break your pie crust like I did, I dropped it on the way up from the deep freezer. Just use some water. You don't even need this little brush that I had. You can use a paper towel, put a little bit of water on there and dab water on and move it around with your hands. It makes it easier to move around. So I use these kitchen shears to cut around the pie crust to make all of this even. So once we're ready, after we put our filling in, you can drop this pie crust right back on top. And be careful, the dough is very delicate. We are going to use all of this extra dough, so do not throw it in the trash. If you do not want to do all of this work with this Pillsbury top, you can use another Marie Callender's pie crust. And what you would do is right over there to my right and to your left, there is 2 pie crusts sitting out. You would drop that pie crust right on top, and here is a clip where I'm showing you how it will look. See how it sits up? That's the bottom of a pie crust. And you see I already made those cuts. These are 2 small ones that I made apple pies at different time. But I just wanted to show you how it looks. You do want to use that egg wash or that water to dab around the pie crust before you set those on top though, so they will stick. Okay, moving right along, we are going to start putting our filling in. Make sure that your butter is all melted and your filling is all mixed in. This is the consistency you want. Not too thick and not too thin. We're going to let our thickening agent do its work inside of the oven, and then it even gets thicker when you put it in the fridge afterwards to cool down. I actually like to eat my pies nice and warm, especially if you have a scoop of ice cream. If you do everything that I told you here, it's going to come out perfect. It's going to have that great balance of sweetness and tart that makes a great peach cobbler or peach pie. Excuse my green tea can over there. That's not one of the ingredients, so don't get confused. Although that tea was founded in New York, it's a great staple over here in Philadelphia. A 99-cent. Look at how large that can is. 99-cent green tea. Yeah. So remember, I was telling you not to throw away the scraps of the dough that we cut off around the perimeter. You're going to use these inside. This makes it much more delicious. And it's not going to turn out to be soggy bread or anything like that. Trust me, it's going to be like a biscuit in there. You know, it's going to have a good bite to it. And because it's so dense and because it's so thick, the filling, I love to have crust all throughout. I'm just using water here to go around the crust edge in order for the other dough to stick to it once I drop it on top. But you can use the egg wash that you made already. This water is just another option, but yeah, and if you don't have eggs, if you don't like egg or something like that, you don't have to use egg at all for your pie. I'm just using egg wash for the top because I like that golden look afterwards. You absolutely do not have to. You can just cook your pie just like that once you put your pie crust on top. Okay, as I said before, this pie crust is very delicate, but it forms really well. So once you're going around, you'll know how good to press it around the edge of the pie. You're just smashing that onto the bottom layer of the crust, if you know what I mean. And you're going to take your hands and go around to kind of round the edges. You can fold it over, you can round the edges, but we already took off most of the dough that was hanging over, but I'm just rounding it up so it can look better. And there you go. Now let's give this thing a little razzle and dazzle. Okay, so you're going to grab your egg wash, get your either a paper towel or something, or one of these brush, and brush on your egg wash. Just glaze it across. You don't want to like pour it on there or anything. You don't want any piles of egg wash. Just brush, or you dab it on with a paper towel, a clean paper towel. So I'm just going to add a little bit more here. I'm going to add my cinnamon sugar just to get a little sparkling on top. Or you could just use sugar, regular sugar, and put it on top. I done dropped it down too much there, but don't worry about it. I have a brush. I can brush it around. And even so, it's still going to be delicious. So you could just sprinkle sugar right on top to give it that sparkle at the end. So it's going to be golden and sparkles. And that is going to be a delicious, appetizing pie. So after about 50 minutes to an hour, you're going to have a golden, delicious Jay's peach pie. You can eat this hot or cold, whatever you like. I want to thank you all for watching. If you all tried this pie with me, if you made it and you taste it, let me know how you like it. I love it. If you like this recipe, you're going to love some of my other recipes. Okay, catch you next time on Day with Jay.